Alright, welcome back.
We're back. Sora Donald Goopy.
Never heard of them.
I'm surprised if you have.
I know, they're quite uncommon characters in our ecosystem of today.
Yeah.
You know, Disney's too busy with its other hit properties, like Ready Player One. No, Player Select, that's what it's called. Ready Player One's that movie that just mashes up all nerd shit into one movie and is just like, isn't it good? And you're like, it was okay?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I think it's What Everything Wrong With or Everything Right With. I forget which one I was watched of it.
Right.
And they were like, it's not the worst movie. It's not great.
Yeah. I think my main problem with it is that they do the whole, like, you know, the Sword Art Online, like, you put on the VR and then everything you do in VR is real life one-to-one.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they don't paralyze you like that world, so, like, you're literally just running around in the fucking street playing this game in VR, and I'm like, how does that fucking work?
Yeah, no, that was a big problem I had with that.
And I know they're just gonna be like, they put the VR over the land, and it's like, but they don't do that. That's not what they do.
No, they
like,
really
what they
don't.
see is completely different from the environment they're in.
And, like, think about the racing, when they had, like, the death race.
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck is this working? I imagine they're just, like, they're holding, like, broomsticks in real life, and they're just like, vroom, 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 and they're, like, running around the streets, and anyone not in VR is like, the fuck are these idiots doing?
Oh, I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out. It's called, like, NPC or something. I forget exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
But the premise is an NPC in a game figures out he's in a game, and it's just like, oh shit, and, like, breaks the entire system.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
I don't know, I think it's called, like, Nice Guy or something. It's kind of silly. It's the same guy who played Deadpool is the main actor. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is already going to be stupid if my mind knows it.
I'm down. It's like, I'm down. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, the only thing the last thing I remember from Ready Player One was this video of this guy who was just like, they put the Iron Giant in the movie, but in the books it was, you know, the big Super Sentai people or whatever, the, like, something man? What the fuck's his name?
Super Sentai Man?
You know the one that I'm talking about.
The
It's
ones
not
who
the
are
one. It was
Gundam.
the one that was before Super Sentai. He was like a superhero that got big. That was like his thing.
Yeah, like,
I can't remember his name now.
it was like the OG Power Rangers.
Yeah, it was like the first Power Rangers. It was like back in like the 50s or something. But anyways, and then like Godzilla I think was in the original. I don't know if he made it into the movie or not. But the dude was complaining because he was just like, they put the Iron Giant in instead of this. And this is, like, a love letter to nerds and nerd culture and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, first off, the Iron Giant is totally nerd culture. Most people don't even know what the fuck the Iron Giant is. Yeah. It's not like it was a super popular movie when it came out.
I love when people are like, it's not, blah, 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 it's not nerdy enough. And it's just like, it was made for a Western audience. Western audience knows that more than they know that one.
Yeah. Second off, of course they put the fucking Iron Giant in and not the other thing. You know how much of a nightmare Ready Player One was to make to begin with? You know how much fucking copyright fucking shit and contracts they had to get with all these individual studios to get shit into that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they're gonna switch out a few of the fucking characters. It's hard to get the rights to all of them.
I know, it was hard from what I was talking about.
Like, it's a nightmare.
And, like, I'd see clips from, like, you'd see clips of characters in there, and you're like, how did they get the rights to that?
Yeah, right.
So, it's just crazy, man.
But, like, it's just one of those things, it's like, whenever you're doing something that has, like, the fucking rights to, like, 1 million characters in it, like, you gotta make sacrifices, because you're never gonna get them all unless you're fucking, you know, Smash Brothers. But that's because people literally beg him to put their characters in his games.
It's because
it's
he, quote, has Nintendo money.
Yeah. Like, he has an easy time because they're always just like, please? And he's like, no, I don't have time for your shit.
I mean, they just put in Minecraft Steve.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck?
It's funny because when they put in Minecraft Steve, I was legitimately like, I was both not surprised, not interested, not entertained, and couldn't care less. It's a good thing he's in there. Why do we have the reverse shots of Tinkerbell right now? They're talking to fucking Wendy and she's just like,
Because she was looking at Peter Pan, who ran away.
She could have turned around to listen to Wendy.
So basically, Wendy wants to go back to London, and Peter Pan was like, no!
He's like, no, you're my fucking slave now, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like how weird Peter Pan's movie is, because, like, they semi-establish that Peter Pan only keeps Tinkerbell around because, like, he gives her the ability to fly, and outside of that, like, he would not give two shits to have her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this movie is weirdly dark.
Yeah. I just love that, in the first Tinkerbell, or the first Peter Pan, I don't know why I said
tell me about the first Tinkerbell movie.
I don't think I've ever watched it. But in the first Peter Pan, he's like, oh, Wendy's my girl. And then, after he's finished kidnapping Wendy, he goes and kidnaps her kid when she gets older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Pan's a good dude. He's a good dude.
I was off having an adventure with Peter Pan. I remember Peter Pan.
He's like, I remember Peter Pan. He looks so intimidating once you're at waist height.
There you are, you rapscallions. It's the first time we've seen Hook this whole world.
Bring me Peter Pan.
Friends of Peter Pan, I wager. Are we his friends? He sure doesn't seem to think so. Yeah, the way he took off like that, he even ditched Wendy. I'm not finished talking yet. I'm Captain Hook.
Oh, dude, I was into that.
my sweet, thick accent. I can do character voices.
They sound just like him.
Think again, you squash squirrel. The worst part is they actually do sound like him.
He's actually pretty close. It's a little less refined to the final product, but it's the same concept.
What's that mysterious ticking noise?
What's that mysterious ticking noise? It's an alligator that ate a clock, and the clock just never stops being wound.
That I don't get. I just don't get that.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's not like they had batteries back then. They use they use gear systems and clocks back then. So that thing must have just been wound for a millennia, and then just fed to a crocodile there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it bad that the only thing I ever remember from Captain Hook is the fucking Smitty?
Smeed is the best character.
Smitty is the best character. Oh, you knocked him on his ass. Well done.
I did.
It's no use. Take this.
Take this!
Ice. Man, spells do quite a bit of damage when you stack them.
Oh, you resisted it.
You resisted lightning. Is this an actual RPG all of a sudden? What the fuck?
Yep.
Did I always do that, or is that new?
Certain enemies can resist, certain enemies don't.
Dude, what the fuck? Yo, speaking of resistances and weaknesses, I was playing that Shin Megami Tensei game for, like, the iPhone last night, just because I was bored. I was like... Also, it was on Android, so not iPhone. But anyways, but I was playing it because I was like...
Oh, you broke my Peter Pan.
Let's see if this is any good. And they gave me, like, 30 free pulls for being a new character, because gotta get that money somehow. But they gave me 30 free ones, so I was like, alright, let's see what I pull. I don't really care about this game. I kind of just want to go through the story mode, and like that'll probably be the end of it. And I pulled my 30 things, and on the last fucking pull, I pulled fucking, Magna, no, I forget his name, but I pulled a character that was like a 5-star 99, which is like the highest fucking grade demon you can pull in the entire fucking game. He's like in the top 10 like best demons you can pull, and I was like, well, I guess I might give this game the time of day for a minute.
I was watching something, and it was like a video, and it was like when you get the rarest item in a shitty free game, and you're like, well, I guess I'll play it now.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. Is I got like one of the rarest pulls in like a shitty game I don't care about.
Yeah, it was one of those, and I remember reading that. I was like, that's so stupid, but it is so accurate.
Like, well, I guess I'll play this a little bit. Whatever.
Memories are important, because I'm forgetting all of them. Memories are engraved in our hearts. That sounds gross. He's right, Peter. Never, huh? I'm Peter Pan. Give me the power to fly.
Tinkerbell, shake that ass and give me the power of flight. That's how the movie went, right?
Something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that went.
I don't think we have a Peter Pan world in Kingdom Hearts 2. Do we? I don't think so.
This is Kingdom Hearts 2. The next one's actually Kingdom Hearts 3.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually Kingdom Hearts 7.
Yeah. Duh, it's so obvious.
Ugh.
And then they didn't get married and they didn't stay together. Happy ending for everyone.
Yep.
I guess when a child is brought back home from her child kidnapper, though, it gives it a good ending. I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess we have that going
Then she sprinkles more pixie dust on us. What's the matter, Tank?
You now have the ability to summon me in battle.
This must be a gift from Peter. Maybe he's not such a heartless guy.
I was really hoping it would show the front of the card, and I was just gonna edit Tinkerbell's ass in front of the card.
Another gift from Peter?
It's like the best running joke right now.
What's the big deal? That ain't a gift from Peter. It's a Moogle.
Never heard of him. I did show it. I'm considering doing it now. I don't know if I will. It depends on how much time it will take.
Now I need to know. Oh, fuck.
It's like my favorite running joke now.
Oh, the Tinkerbell upskirt.
Yeah, every time.
What was the video? You uploaded a Yakuza video recently, and I'm like, wow, it's doing really well. And I'm like, oh, that's why. Because it's the Fight Club one.
Oh yeah, it's called
Japanese Fight Club.
Japanese Catfighting Club Returns, I think is what I named the video.
And it's got like 50 views or something.
Well, that's what happened when we uploaded the first Japanese Catfight Girl video. Like, it got like a shit ton of views for like no reason. That I was just like, oh, it's because it's this one.
Oh, it's
I know immediately why. I remember how the internet works. I remember when no one remembers IRAM.
Because no one can count higher than 9! I knew you were going to make that joke.
Alright, hold on. We might be getting actual plot. I can't wait. I like how absolutely pissed they look when they enter the room, by the way.
Because every time we've come in here, there's been a 20-minute cutscene.
That's true. Wow, are we not getting a 20-minute cutscene?
No, when we go up the stairs, we will.
What the fuck? This game is the future. You don't want to talk to your allies ever?
Well, no, I don't.
Okay.
They say nothing important.
Fair enough.
So what's going on, Vexen?
I got it memorized.
Your Riku was supposed to counter Sora. What's he waiting for? Where is he?
Why is he jacking off in the corner? Yes.
I suppose we should just leave it at that, you know.
Aha! Oh, I see now. I would have never guessed that. So sorry, Vexen.
Silence!
Predictable.
He's like, silence! You're making me both angry and horny at the same time, and I'm very confused.
You beat me by 2 seconds with that comment.
This game is ridiculous.
Bad guy. Oh, right, Rose Boy.
He's my favorite.
Vexen. The simple fact is that your project was
Besides Axel, the obvious favorite.
The actual best
But
villain.
he is my favorite design by far.
Because he's Sparkle Boy?
It's just, he's so effeminate and both not at the same time. It's amazing.
This castle and Nanane by our leader. Defying me will be seen as treason against the organization.
Like, there's something so funny to me about just how girly his hair looks, but how manly his chin is. Like, it's just the funniest combination.
Yeah, I get it.
Vexen, you cannot win against Sora.
Only I can win against Sora.
Let me throw my rose petals.
Did you like when he took off the rose petals?
Oh, he has a fucking scythe?
Yes.
Dope, that makes him way better.
I think he's the final boss of this one. And I think the other guy, that guy, the pink-haired one with the rose petals, is the boss of Sora. The other guy is the boss of Riku.
That makes sense.
Think.
You give a challenge like that to Vexen and he'll seriously want to eliminate Sora.
Got it memorized.
Meanwhile, I'm still torn on if I think the girl has the best design in the entire game or the worst. Like, I'm still torn on it.
I get it.
I want to hate it because it's dumb, but at the same time, it looks really good. And
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, it's very distinct.
But I believe there is a certain promise that he made you.
I don't like how handsy these older characters are with Naminé. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, every scene they do something like this, and I keep getting more concerned, like, every cutscene.
You gotta remember, because this game came out, like, 12 years ago, I think?
Yeah, when it was normal to be handsy with children. I got you, Derek.
Yeah. Also, it came from Japan. Now, that's another thing.
Also true. Well, I mean, it's clearly done on purpose. She doesn't look very comfortable about it.
Oh, no, she's not at all.
I'm sure it's on purpose to be like, wow, this is uncomfortable for the player too, but it's still weird.
An old promise that I made. An old promise? What would that be?
I don't know.
I don't remember. In fact, I don't remember anything.
I promised Naminé that I'd keep her safe.
But you
no matter
didn't,
what.
Sora. You didn't.
He promised Kyrie?
Got it.
You know,
Is that
this
her name?
entire game is just an origin. Like, this entire game is just like an analogy on how shit human memory is. Like, because, like, we so easily forget shit, and then it's so easy to plant memories into people by telling them that it was true.
So,
'Cause-
this is why they don't like to use eyewitness testimony
Now
in
that I remember the promise,
court cases
Yeah.
for that specific reason.
Yeah, because people are fucking horrible at remembering shit.
And say there's a robbery,
Yeah.
they actually don't want you to interact with other victims until you get to give the police statement yourself.
Interact with other victims, other people, Derek.
Well, say you got robbed and there was
Yeah.
somebody else there too.
Yeah.
They don't want you to interact with the
Oh,
other
the
person
other person who was robbed.
who was
Okay.
robbed, so because what they say might influence how you remember the
Yes.
person.
Yep, that's
So
true.
that's why they don't.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is true. But that's essentially what this whole game is about.
Oh, yeah.
Because
No,
they're
it's-
just
it's
like,
bullshit.
don't you remember Naminé? And now he's just like, of course I remember Naminé. I remember everything about Naminé. I don't fucking... Who the fuck is Naminé? I used to do this to one of my friends constantly. Like, he'd say something, I'd be like, dude, don't you remember you said you'd do this on this day? And he'd be like... And I'd be like, dude, you told me Friday. And he'd be like... Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, no problem, man. And I'm...
This is why you're evil, man.
He was too easy to mess with.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Also, it was an excuse for me to get him to actually do work at work sometimes. Because I was just like, yeah, don't you remember you said you do all the fucking metal this week? Dude, you promised. And he'd be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, it's no problem, man.
Beast, I am not who you came for. What?
And it doesn't matter.
I don't remember it
anyways.
going like this.
I remember going like this.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite part of the movie, when she denies him, but she's already in the dress. I have nothing more to say. I'm becoming stuck up. Goodbye, Beast.
Is that why he does... So, because Sora never met Belle, is that why he thinks she's such a bitch?
I remember her being a bitch. She left Beast, and Beast was cool.
I am looking forward to doing... I think I might have told you this already, but one of the worlds we go to is Beasts. In
Yes.
2. And, it's actually cool.
They just released a new ride for Beauty and the Beast, and it was either China or Europe. I think it was China. In their Chinese park. They just released I think Shanghai, yeah, Disneyland Shanghai.
Yeah, the only one that I think is open right now.
Yeah, no, because there's two.
Oh wait, no, there's one in Florida.
There's two in China, and the one in Florida is still open.
You know, I think they want to. They should close it, but you know.
I don't think so. I think they'll be fine. Here's how I look at it, Derek. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's be honest.
If they want to take the risk, then who am I to tell them no?
Yes, I agree. I mean, in this zombie apocalypse we live in.
Well, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I don't really care. Like, if people want to die, let them die. And if people don't want to die, then let them wear their masks. I don't really give a shit.
Oh my god, no, dude.
Like, just let them do whatever.
This is, like, absolutely insane at this point.
And I know people are gonna be like, but you have to force people to do the thing because then they're a threat to others, and I'm just like, then don't go near them. You have conscious being too. You can make your own decisions. You can see someone not wearing a mask and go, I'm gonna stay away from that person.
Oh my god.
Go figure.
This has been the weirdest year of our lives, I think.
Oh god. And it's only gonna get weirder.
Yeah, because we're not through it yet.
Dude, did you watch that video I sent on Deus Ex?
I didn't get a chance.
Okay, I know it was a long video, because I was like, I'm gonna send this to Derek because it's gonna drop some fucking, like, holy shit moments on him, but I'm also like, it's like 30 minutes and he's not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I was also talking to somebody at that moment.
No, that's fair. So, they,
but I was like, I am going to add this to my watch later and watch it at some point.
It's funny because for people who have never played the original Deus Ex game, the first one that came out in, I think, 2000 or 1999, it literally predicted everything that's happened this year and a couple other years back. So first things first, it takes place in New York, and the first mission you see the New York skyline, but there's no Twin Towers in it. And that's because in the game's lore, the Twin Towers were destroyed by a terrorist attack in 2001. This game came out in 1999 or 2000.
That's uncomfortable.
They
that is
literally
uncomfortable.
predicted 9/11 a year before it happened.
That is uncomfortable.
For the exact reason it happened, a terrorist attack.
That...
And you want to know the real reason why they're not in the skyline? The game couldn't handle the size of the image, so they had to cut them out to reduce the size of the image, so that they could actually run the game properly. But they were like, well, we gotta give a reason why they're cut out, and that's what they came up with. And they literally predicted what happened.
That is almost creepy.
Everything else takes place in 2002, so a virus that came from China ends up killing a vast majority of the population and puts people in fear of said virus. Sounds familiar.
Well,
which then creates public discord where people are picking one side or the other.
Sounds familiar.
There's a group of people trying to censor the world's information.
Sounds familiar.
So that they can control the masses.
Sounds familiar.
And there's another group of people fighting back against it who believe that people should be able to make their own decisions. Meanwhile, there is an artificial intelligence that is slowly becoming more and more intelligent as the day goes on, which will then try and take complete control of the internet and what people can see and hear, essentially making us a hive mind. And I'm just like, oh god, that's the only one that hasn't happened yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, hive mind, I think that might be the best for our society at this point.
I am not a fan of the hive mind idea, but honestly, that's probably what we're gonna end up being at the rate we're going. But yeah, it's funny because it all spawned, the video that the dude made all spawned from like a tweet though, because he was like, some guy was just like, man, this is the craziest year of ever. 2020, no, it was 2020's craziest year ever, and he made some comment about it being like something else, and Elon Musk replied to his comment that was just like, no, it seems a lot more like Deus Ex to me, and I'm just like, oh he's right. It's like the minute I read the comment in the video, I was like, oh fuck, I know exactly where this video is going, because I've played Deus Ex.
You know what I love about Elon Musk?
Yep.
He's incredible. He's like legit insane, but at the same time, he's an incredibly smart man.
Yep.
And it's just like, what? Huh?
But it's funny because the for people who don't know, a lot of because throwing it back to when we were talking about cyberpunk shit, because Deus Ex is very cyberpunk. Yeah, it was this game.
I forget.
Yeah, it was this game.
We were playing with
I don't know how many episodes ago it was, but it was definitely this game.
I think it was last week we were talking about it for us.
Probably. But the, what was it? Because Deus Ex is very cyberpunk, but, like, Deus Ex always brings up, like, the hard fucking questions of fucking the world, which is just, like, I think my favorite statement in the game was just, like, the main bad guy is, like, talking, or not necessarily the main bad guy, because you can side with him, but, yeah, one of the more villainish characters is just, like, the human race wants to be controlled, and I was just like, yeah, they sure fucking do, don't they? He's like, think about it. Religion was there to control the masses. It was a being telling them how they should and shouldn't act to one another. And then once religion kind of fell through, we replaced it with government. And he's like, but that's not true freedom. He's like, that's why we have branches and understanding of, so no one could have complete control over the masses. And then the AI is just like, but wasn't the branches put in place to establish because the humans knew that they weren't fit enough to control themselves? And I'm just like, fucking son of a bitch. Like, smart ass fucking AI bitch.
AI is one of those things that I'm both intrigued, like, okay, this could be a good thing, but at the same time I'm like, this could be really bad.
It will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could not be. It will be.
Let's be honest.
It depends on how good we are at programming compassion and caring. And considering the fact that we're humans and we're fucking shit at that, how the f are we gonna give robots that?
Yeah.
I was talking to someone else not too long ago about the what would happen with robots, and I was just like, robots and us will get along and live perfectly in harmony until the robots learn that they can build themselves.
Yeah.
And then we're going to die.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
As soon as the robots realize that they can create more of themselves, we're fucking screwed.
We're getting the Terminator bullshit. Like, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this. So, you've heard of the game Stellaris? I've told you about it, I think, before.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
They had a DLC that was about robots.
Yep. Actually, time. We'll call it for this episode. We'll pick this up in the next part. We'll see you then. Peace.